Goku here will now have the max potential of every single what if scenario I have ever done in the past 2+ years of my YouTube channel, combining every single versions of Goku's potential into one. I hope you all enjoy this series. Bardock would have still sacrificed his life as he found out about Frieza's plan to destroy planet Vegeta. Now when Son Goku was a child, Kakarot here, would he be any different? I would say no. While true, his power is very dormant, but it's potential, not raw power in the beginning. So his power level would still be laughable at a level of 2. Bardock and Gine would have still sent Goku away, while Bardock would have flown up to sacrifice himself to go kill the mighty Frieza. Unfortunately, he knew that it was futile, but he knew that his death will change the future. Everything will. Frieza then destroyed planet Vegeta. Now, Goku was one of the last remaining Saiyans in the galaxy. This is when Goku would then land on planet Earth, meeting with Grandpa Gohan. Now, the same events would have transpired, with Goku still being an infant. He would have still been really rambunctious and wild. Grandpa Gohan would love the child, though, and take him as his own son. Goku would still fall and hit his head the same as before, as Goku would be able to recover very quickly. Now, Goku in this scenario already got a little Zenkai boost from him hitting his head, but we'll get into that later. Once when Goku begins growing up, he would begin the basic training and survival under Grandpa Gohan's teaching. Goku by this point has already grown way stronger than I think anyone else has imagined. Already doing the basic training, Goku was a truly gifted learner. He easily surpassed Grandpa Gohan and Master Roshi in a very short time, only being a young boy. Now, in this what-if scenario, Goku, when he turns into a great ape, in reality, he would destroy the entire planet. But we're going to say here that Grandpa Gohan was actually able to stop him by removing his tail. If you guys remember, a Saiyan's tail is his weakness. Or we could go down the other scenario and say that Goku just did not look at the moon that night. So I'm going to go down the more realistic take and state that Goku never actually looked at the moon. So Goku never transformed into a great ape, because if he did, unfortunately, planet Earth would be destroyed. But Goku never killed Grandpa Gohan, so he would continue teaching Goku for the remainder of the years. Goku's power level will continue to skyrocket to new levels that we've never seen before. Goku was now already becoming the most powerful character in Dragon Ball, easily. Once when Bulma would then meet up with Goku, she would be interested in wanting the 4th part Dragon Ball because it's a project for her as she's taking the summer off for high school. Goku, of course, would not want this, as this is Grandpa's Dragon Ball. Now, Grandpa Gohan would agree to let her come along, as long as Goku can come along with her. Grandpa Gohan thinks it's definitely time for Goku to basically go explore and to go find his own, basically his own chapter in life. And Goku would agree if that's what his grandfather wanted. Now we're going to be cutting forward all the way to when Goku would meet up with Yamcha, Puar, Oolong. Unfortunately, they would have no chance of defeating this version of Goku, as he was way too powerful. As they would have no chance of even touching or defeating the version of these characters. So, this is when Goku would then meet up with Master Roshi for the first time. Now, he has heard of Master Roshi before. Now, he learned it from Grandpa Gohan that he was his original master, and Goku always wanted to meet him. Now, this is when, after meeting Roshi, Roshi would then use the Kamehameha wave to put out the flames on the Flying Pan Mountain. They would then find the 7-star Dragon Ball. Now, Goku would have still defeated the boss rabbit as well. Now, in this what if, Mai and Shu, when they do steal the Dragon Ball, this time around, Pilaf would not be able to stop them, as Goku would easily break out of Pilaf's castle, and Oolong can still make his wish, as I believe, and even if he didn't, what would the wish be for? I'll let you guys decide in the comments down below. As Bulma would probably want her wish to be like the perfect boyfriend, but we know that Goku's wish would have probably been something food related. So, for what if purposes, Oolong would still make his dirty wish. Now, this is when Goku and Krillin would then become Master Roshi's students, after finding Launch. Roshi would then move his house to the larger island, but now, Goku would easily be way stronger than even Roshi is, and he can tell, as Goku is way more powerful than even Roshi even imagined. Even at his full strength, Goku would easily defeat him. Now that Roshi knows that, he would try and teach Goku to learn to control his power, and to tap into his potential, learn how to use martial arts, as it's more of a mental thing now training Goku than it is a physical. Now, Krillin being pushed, he would try to push himself to try and keep up with Goku, but unfortunately he would have no chance. Goku is way too far ahead. Now with Roshi, Krillin, and Goku, they would then all begin training, of course, more. Now Goku's training is a bit different, as Roshi's training is not sufficient enough for Goku since he's too strong. Fortunately, none of his training methods are working for Goku. Roshi's running out of options. But he does wonder that Goku can do more mental training. So for the next 7 months, they would actually do that, doing more mental training. And Goku was already far eclipsing even that. So during those 7 months, Roshi would then send Goku to go find Master Korin, as Korin is the next best thing that he can imagine, as he trained Roshi. Goku would easily find Korin's tower and meet Baba and everyone else. This is when Goku would then climb up the tower and he would then meet Master Korin. He would then begin training under Korin, and would Goku want the Ultra Divine Water? I would say yes, as it's the end of Korin's training. And within the next couple of days, he would easily master Korin's training and only grow stronger. And Korin wonders how strong Goku actually is, but he doesn't want him to destroy his tower, so maybe do that later. Goku still has a hard time controlling his energy, because it's so much raw power within him that it's pretty crazy. Now, Korin would then tell Goku that if you can get the infinite extending pole, aka the power pole, this is when you can then go all the way up to go meet Kami. Now, Goku would still find it, and Goku would then meet Kami and Popo for the first time. So this is way earlier. This is during the 7 months of training, and this is right before the 24th World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, Kami would instantly start training Goku, and during this training, alongside with him and Popo as well, they would then realize how strong Goku actually is. So they asked Goku, once when he learns how to control his strength, which is way more mental training than anything, power up to his full power to see how far Goku can go. Goku's never actually done this before, but he wants to give it a try. So Goku will begin powering up. Kami tells him to keep a calm mind and to try to control his power. Goku would then begin charging up, as Kami would then stare in shock, as sweat would go down his face, as Goku begins shaking the entire planet. Goku's power level is skyrocketing far beyond the Saiyan saga, and even the Frieza arc, and even passing versions of the Cell arc, going to show you how strong his potential is. As Goku's continuing to rise, it's not stopping. Goku's hair would then rise up, as he would then turn into a Super Saiyan without even realizing it. And his power level would only get even higher, now reaching the Buu saga levels. This is when Roshi would then tell Goku, as remember, mind you, Roshi can sense this going on. Goku would then scream out, letting all his power out, as Roshi on his island can sense this, and Roshi would then try to communicate with Goku or try to scream and yell for him to stop, because it's going to destroy the whole planet, but unfortunately, his voice was not heard. Kami would then tell Goku to stop, as Goku would then stop himself and look at his hands. He just turned into a Super Saiyan without even noticing. Since Goku does have max potential, his S cells are way higher than they ever been before. He can turn into a Super Saiyan, he just never even tried. Goku can turn into a Super Saiyan just by normal. It's similar to the Universe 6 Saiyans, to where they have a little tingle in their back and they can just poof turn into one. It's even easier than that. Goku could have burst into Super Saiyan anytime he wanted. He just never powered up like that before. Well, after that was done, Kami then thinks that there's not much more training I can do. Maybe there is one thing that might be able to push you a little bit. Kami would then offer Goku to go into the hyperbolic time chamber for over a year, who would then step in there, as it only takes 1 day outside to train for a year on the inside. Goku would then step in, and for the first time he would actually have some struggle. The gravity would actually get him, as Goku was not used to it, but over time he'll quickly start overpowering the gravity. Goku's potential, he'll start basically being able to overcome the gravity within a few short hours, as he then has fully accustomed to it. The area was harsh, the weather would change, it was a very hard training. Goku would stay in there for the full year, as his power level has only skyrocketed even more, getting even stronger. Goku doesn't even know how strong he even is, and he's afraid to power up too much, because if he does, he might destroy himself alongside with the whole planet. So he decides to kind of keep himself kind of low. Now when Goku does go for the 24th World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku would win the whole thing. Unfortunately, Goku's way too powerful. Fortunately, Krillin, Roshi, no one else can match him. Goku is way too strong, so Jackie Chun would have been defeated. Even if Master Roshi went full power, fired a full power command wave right at Goku's face point blank, Goku would have stood there without even a scratch on him. Fortunately, Roshi loses. So, since that Roshi lost, Goku would have still spent all the prize money on food, of course, eating to his heart's content. Now, this is when going forward, we are then going to cut towards the Red Ribbon Army. And remember, Goku during this time around, originally he did go to Korin because he kind of lost a fight, Mercenary Tao. Now, Mercenary Tao originally killed General Blue, which Goku would have already defeated him beforehand, and if Mercenary Tao does try fighting Goku, Goku would have defeated him easily. Now, Goku would never jump up to Korin's tower because he never needed to train to begin with to take the water. He already did, nor does he need it. So this is when Goku would then single-handedly destroy the Red Ribbon Army, and he would easily do it with the flick of his hand. Now, in this what-if timeline, Goku knows about the fact that the Red Ribbon Army is no joke, so Goku would make sure to try and clear as many of them out. But one person would survive, and we all know who that is. This is when Goku, he would not do his training to run around the world, because again, he can do that with ease. Goku by this point also can fly, as he learned that very quickly. He was able to fly. He's able to master ki attacks way better. This is, of course, when Goku would then fly over to the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, and he would easily destroy everybody. Unfortunately, Tien Shinhan has zero chance of beating Goku. Goku easily knocked him out. And this time around, Chrome would still be killed by Tambourine, since Goku never realized it. It was a sudden shock. This is when Goku would then find Tambourine way faster and kill him easily. Now, once when Goku would then cross paths with Demon King Piccolo, now Goku would have probably punched a hole right through his stomach, as he, remember again, Goku just would not blast him. So Demon King Piccolo would then still spit out an egg, having Piccolo Jr. And this was when they would not use the Dragon Balls to restore the youth. They would, of course, use the Dragon Ball to wish Krillin back to life. Now, Goku never drank the Sacred Divine Water for the second time because he doesn't need to. So, Goku would then just continue going back up to the lookout, and he would continue training there for the next 3 years, as it's a safe place, and he can also go into the Hyperbolic Time Chamber where he can safely power up and fight without having to destroy anything. Now, this is when Goku, they would never destroy the moon, nor would they destroy Goku's tail, because he hasn't turned into an Uzaru yet, and even if he did, they would destroy the entire planet Earth, and no one could stop him. So Goku does still have his tail. Now, we're going to cut forward all the way towards the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, this is later. Goku would then meet up and see all of his friends again. He was happy to see him. Goku would still get engaged to Chi-Chi, and a lot of people get mad in the what-ifs as why. It's because, what's the point, since Goku would still have met Chi-Chi the same as before, and Goku was still silly, so he still would have promised her to marry her, thinking it was some kind of food. Goku has potential, he doesn't have IQ, just to remind you, though he's still the goofy Goku that we all know and love. Fortunately, Goku would still marry Chi-Chi the same as before, and now before this would happen, of course, this is when Goku would then battle Piccolo Jr. Now, with Piccolo, he would have absolutely no chance of even touching. It would literally be a one hit and he's done. Goku can blink and Piccolo Jr. will lose. And Piccolo Jr. can sense how strong Goku is. I feel like he would still try to fight him. Fortunately, it would all fail. Goku would still spare his life because he knows that if Piccolo Jr. dies, then Kamidai will as well. So, Goku knows to spare him, and Piccolo would then fly off, going on his own to try and get revenge one day. Now, of course, he would marry Chi-Chi, and then they would then have Gohan. So, cutting forward over 5 years later, this is when Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz are deployed to purge the planet Sheik. Now, after 3 days, when the Saiyans conquer the planet Sheik, the Saiyans have an audience with Frieza, and after when they discuss their plans to usurp the Tyrannical Emperor, now Raditz remembers that Earth is near the coordinates, and he remembers his brother, so he will leave to go retrieve Kakarot. Cutting forward a few months, what about Gohan? Will Gohan have Goku's crazy potential? I don't think he would, as potential is not handed down. Sometimes it is, but in this what if, it's not, as Gohan's potential is already high as is anyway. Now, of course, it's not as high as Goku. Goku is way beyond Gohan's even thought process of potential, but Gohan's potential is still very high. Now, Goku would still kind of be the same as Gohan, again, was still being smothered by his mother, so he would still be a bookworm and not really be a fighter. Gohan's mentality is still the same. Now, once when Goku would then begin training Gohan here and there, not really dabbing too far into it, Chi-Chi would understand. They would try to probably maybe work out a deal, but no. She wants him to be like a smart teacher or college teacher. Now, once a Raditz would arrive on Earth, this is when Goku would personally meet Raditz, as he can sense him arriving. Goku would then fly over and meet up with Raditz, as he can sense the power. Now, Piccolo was nearby, but he was just staying out of the way watching. Raditz would then explain who he is, and who the Saiyans are, and who he is to Goku, delivering him the same speech that he gave before. He would not also be mad that Goku's tail is missing. Goku's tail is still there. Raditz would then tell him to either join me or you're gonna die. Goku would of course say no, and once Raditz would then try to attack Goku, Raditz's punches do nothing. It was no different than when they were trying to attack Broly and it wasn't doing anything. Raditz would be hitting Goku as hard as he could, and Goku would just be standing there, motionless, not even flinching. Goku would then grab one of his fists, and he would then tell him that you cannot defeat me. And he would then deliver a powerful gut punch to Raditz, nearly killing him, knocking Raditz out cold. Raditz would then awaken at the Capsule Corp hospital, as he was basically tied down to make sure to try to get away. Though would it really hold him? Probably not. But Raditz knows that there's nothing that he can do, as he can't escape. Bulma has already taken apart his space pod, so Raditz can't even leave, and Goku would then keep Raditz around. Raditz would then kind of basically give up to Goku since there's nothing that he can do. But Goku then explained that, well, if those guys ever show up, I can defeat them myself. And Raditz will explain that they're probably already on their way since I've been radio silent. They're going to be curious. And Vegeta and Nappa are heading their way over there. Goku then explained that, well, they can come and I'll fight them. Goku then asked, well, how strong are they? That's what then explained that they are way stronger than he is, but considering how easily Goku handled him, he has a pretty good chance of beating them. Now we are going to cut forward here. Now once Raditz was healed up, he would then kind of turn to the good side with everyone else, as Raditz is not really an evil guy. He's kind of like the kick around in the Frieza Force, alongside with Vegeta and Nappa kicking him around. Raditz would have soon been defeated, probably and killed anyway by Vegeta and Nappa. So this is when he would kind of join up with Goku and them, and Goku would begin training with Raditz to help him fight against Vegeta and Nappa. Now Piccolo would also join in too, but he would actually take Gohan, which Goku would surprisingly allow. So Goku can focus on Raditz, while Piccolo will help Gohan grow stronger. Now, with Goku training with Raditz, Goku would even take Raditz to the Hyperbolic Time Chamber to try and train. Now, once when they do go inside, Raditz would then fall to the gravity. Goku would begin helping Raditz as they had a whole bunch of Senzu beans for 1 year. Well, after 1 year, once when they step out, Raditz has seen the biggest growth, as they did take advantage of the Zenkai boost, and on top of this, Raditz was in under 10 times gravity, which again, to remind you, it does not affect him. But again, the harsh conditions really affect him, not per se the gravity. Now this is when we're going to cut forward to after the year when Raditz steps out. How strong has Raditz become? We know that Raditz has a battle power between 1,200 to 1,500, and in my opinion, I think that Raditz by this point, easily, especially training with Goku all that time, with the Zenkais, and also Goku teaching him a lot of skills, Raditz has to have at least, at bare minimum, gotten at least 12 times stronger or even more. Because Raditz already has to surpass Vegeta by this point, and that's bare minimum. I think Raditz has gotten way stronger than that during the Zenkais that he got, being beaten near death. Raditz is probably within the realm of 30 to 40,000, maybe even higher, considering the fact with how strong Goku is. Goku didn't really train himself. He did keep himself sharp to make sure he doesn't get rusty, but he was mainly training Raditz the most. Now Raditz is fully on their side now, as he doesn't want to go back to Vegeta and them. He actually has a family. So Raditz would then live near Goku and them, near Grandpa Gohan's house, where he would turn it into his own. Raditz would also get with Launch as well. Now remember, it only took 1 day on the outside to train for a year on the inside. So after a couple more months have passed, Vegeta and Nappa would then show up. Now after showing up, they would then meet up and meet the rest of the Z fighters who are ready to fight them. Now just to remind you here, Raditz and Piccolo and everyone else is actually stronger because Goku's giving them motivation. So, and this time around, they never spawn the Cybermen because they're not waiting for Goku to have fun. Now, they would then tap their scouters and see that Goku's battle power is around 10,000. Of course, Goku was suppressing it, which is laughable to them. And then also even Raditz's power level was suppressed as well, alongside with everyone else's. Now, this is when Piccolo would then step up and actually fight Nappa first. Now, Piccolo's actually gotten a lot of growth. Now, mind you, it's been 5 years. Piccolo has been training extra hard to grow as strong as he could to fight against that version of Goku. With Piccolo growing so strong, Piccolo's new battle power, actually even training with Gohan too, Gohan's got a big growth as well. Gohan's battle power is around 5 to 6,000. Piccolo is actually near around 8 to 9,000, which is similar to Goku's original power level. And Piccolo would have easily outclassed Nappa, and Piccolo is not one to waste time. After defeating Nappa, Piccolo would then shoot a special beam cannon right through Nappa's chest and kill him, as Piccolo's not going to waste time with them. This would then shock Vegeta at the raw power that Piccolo actually had, and then Raditz would then step up and challenge Vegeta as he's been waiting for this. Nappa would then power up, because I'll remind you, this is when Raditz would begin powering up, and he would then power up to over 40 to 50,000, which would shock Vegeta as his scouter would then explode. Now his scouter could only go up to, I believe it's around 24 to 30,000 before it would explode, so Raditz easily shot past that. Now, Vegeta would then begin powering up himself to his full strength, and they would begin their fight. Goku would then stand back to watch, as this is not his fight to do, and he wants to see Raditz actually show off his skills and his power, see how far he's become. Now this is when Raditz would then easily outclass Vegeta. Vegeta would then try every single trick that he has in the book against Raditz, but it wouldn't work, because now remind you, Vegeta will not spawn the fake moon. Why? Because he's not the only one that has a tail there. Gohan has his tail, necessarily. As we know in the original Saiyan saga, he did still have it. Goku has his tail, Raditz has his tail, so in the end, it's not really worth it, since if Raditz is stronger than him, turning into a great ape is not going to work. Vegeta ran out of options. So this is when Vegeta would then fly up and fire a Gallic gun. Raditz would then use his own version of the Kamehameha wave, and instead of it being like a bluish, it was more of like a bluish pink color. And he would then fire it full force. His own version of his Kamehameha wave was way too strong. It would overpower Vegeta's Gallic gun and defeat him. Now Vegeta would then fall nearly dead, but Raditz would then begin to kill him. Goku would then tell him to be spared, as Vegeta has the ultimate power within him called plot armor. So Vegeta was then spared, as Goku states that he didn't actually try and kill anybody, or technically. And on top of this too, Goku can sense something within Vegeta, and he just thinks to spare him. As Raditz would then wonder why. And he's like, well, I spared you, didn't I? And you changed. Piccolo is pure evil, and I changed. So, yes, we're going to spare him. Vegeta would then leave in the space pod, telling him that you will regret saving me, and he would then fly off. Now, again, this does change a lot of things. None of the Z Fighters died, so none of them would be going to Namek. They also never spoke about the Dragon Balls, so Frieza would never know about it, so he would never go to Planet Namek to begin with. So this does kind of get rid of the Frieza arc entirely. So since the Frieza arc was then kind of skipped over the next, I would definitely say about a year or two, they would then continue living there, as Raditz would be worried about Frieza, and Goku would ask who that was. Now Raditz would explain that, well, Frieza is this super strong guy, the Emperor of the Universe. This would actually get Goku excited. Goku wouldn't mind fighting somebody like Frieza, and he wonders maybe he should go find him. Because if Frieza's killing a lot of innocent people doing bad things, maybe he should go stop him. Now, funny thing is, this is when Vegeta would then arrive on planet Earth. And Vegeta was panicking, because Frieza was hot on his trail. Vegeta actually tried fighting Frieza, destroying a lot of his men, even Zarbon Dodoria, and even he was able to beat the Ginyu Force. And Frieza was furious. As Vegeta didn't have a choice, as Frieza almost killed him, Vegeta was actually able to escape barely with his life. Now, Vegeta over the next year or two has actually been surviving and growing a lot more powerful. Vegeta's new power level is well over 120,000. I would say it's around 250 to 300,000. And Frieza's first form was still stronger than him, but Vegeta was able to get away by outsmarting Frieza and getting away just in time. But Frieza's space pod was right behind him, following him. Vegeta then tells him that they only have a few minutes before Frieza would then land. As he then explains the whole situation, Goku is a bit irritated that he would bring that problem to planet Earth, but he's actually kind of glad he did, and that he'll fight Frieza himself. So Frieza would have brought a lot of his men as well alongside with him, as he then notices that this planet is quite nice. So Frieza would have brought the majority of his subordinates with him, so there's a couple thousand people there. All the Z Fighters are strong enough. As they would then prepare, they would all begin fighting Frieza's soldiers. It's a similar battle, similar to Resurrection F arc during the movie and during the show when they fought all of Frieza's soldiers. Goku would then meet Frieza, who was looking for Vegeta. Goku would then explain that you're going to be fighting me. Frieza would then laugh, as he would then state that you are way beneath me. I just want to kill the prince, but maybe I'll just kill you instead. Frieza in his first form would then try hitting Goku. It would do 0 to Goku, as he would just stand there blankly staring at him, telling him that you can never defeat me. And then Goku says, is that all you really got? You're the Emperor of the Universe. Frieza in fury would then begin powering up. He would then go into his second form, growing in size. Now, the majority of his men was already defeated by the likes of Raditz and Vegeta actually teaming up for the first time, alongside Piccolo. So 3 of the original villains were all teaming up to fight together. Now, they destroyed the majority of Frieza's men, as he didn't bring all of them with him. Frieza in his second form was massive in size. He would then try to hit Goku to damage him. Goku, unfortunately, didn't even budge either. Goku was just staring at him, and he was telling him, like, is that really all you got? Goku was almost pleading Frieza to be stronger, as for the first time, Goku actually thinks that he might be really strong, and for the first time, he might actually get a challenge, but nothing. Frieza would then begin powering up more. I feel like he would then try turning into his third form. It wouldn't do nothing. Frieza would then go into his final form. And this is where some changes are not going to be happening. Since even in Frieza's final form, even if he went 100%, even if he was Golden Frieza at that time, it would not really change too much. Because in reality, it really wouldn't. Goku's, even though he trained for a couple of years lightly, he's way too strong for Frieza, unfortunately. Frieza would then try attacking Goku, firing death beams right at him, even throwing a supernova in his face. Goku would easily flick it away like it was nothing. Goku was really let down, as they kind of hyped up Frieza a lot, but maybe he just thinks he's too strong. Goku wishes he can go back to being weaker, actually. And Goku doesn't even know how strong he could even become. Now this is when Goku would then be upset about it, but Frieza would then go into his full power. And he would then try attacking Goku, it would do nothing. Goku would then give Frieza a chance to just get out of here and never return. Frieza, of course, would never allow this to happen. He can't be defeated like that. Frieza would then fire a death ball right at planet Earth to just destroy it, as maybe he can destroy him another way. Now, Goku would, of course, catch up with it and flick it away. He would then tell Frieza he gave him one chance to get out of here. Goku would then put his hand out and then fire a similar blast, like a Hakai in a way, but it wasn't the actual one. It just disintegrated Frieza. That's how strong Goku was. So Frieza was completely wiped off, and he was killed. Now Frieza was in hell with dancing teddy bears. Everybody was shocked at how easily Goku defeated him, and Goku would then shrug, and he states that he was actually really bored, as he thought Frieza was going to be stronger than that. But unfortunately, at least Frieza's dead, and that the universe is brought to peace. Following What If Goku had his max potential, but this time, Trunks from the original timeline is not going to be here. The time will be cutting forward, and we will be having, of course, Trunks and adult Gohan. By this point, they're following the same steps as they're trying to avoid androids. Now, Gohan and Trunks have been surviving for the longest time as the other Z fighters have passed away. Now, what happened? How did Goku lose? There's no way with his power that he could have lost. And it wasn't the heart virus that killed him. Goku would have actually survived a heart virus like that because of how immensely strong he was. He could have come back. But no, Dr. Gero has planned something else. We're going to go back another 20-some years. Back when Gohan was just a young boy after they defeated Frieza. Trunks was not even born yet, and Vegeta has finally just started getting used to Earth and being around his friends. Raditz was with everybody, and Goku was the strongest being. Now in this timeline, Dr. Gero and the androids did appear, but Dr. Gero went to go battle Goku, and in this time around, he gave Goku a special present. What this is a device that Dr. Gero made, almost like a virus, and what it did is it basically turned its own power against him. Goku wasn't able to use any of his ki. It almost kind of turned off his ki reserves. Goku couldn't use any power at all. It did the opposite effect on him. It's similar to the effect, and you guys have watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, when Aang with Fire Lord Ozai, he took away his fire bending, which the Avatar has this ability to take away bending. It's a similar concept, just with ki. That's exactly what happened. But Goku just had to rely on his speed and strength, but unfortunately, though he was very powerful, Dr. Gero was able to actually kill Goku. Thus, Dr. Gero can continue his plans. Since his androids can only get so strong, remember, he can only make them so strong, same with Cell as well. So that is the reason why he had to kill Goku a different way. And there was no actual cure to fix it. Until, fortunately, none of the Z fighters stood a chance, and one by one, they all fell to the hands of the android. Now, with Gohan and Trunks now together, they're both trying to do what they can to try and survive. Now, this is when Gohan unfortunately would die in similar events, as fortunately he would lose his arm, and unfortunately as Super Saiyan, it was not enough to defeat the androids. They were too strong teaming up against him. Gohan would pass away. This would make Trunks be able to turn into a Super Saiyan as well. Now Trunks has been trying to survive until his mother Bulma has now made a time machine for him to go back and change the entire past. She gives Trunks a special medicine, and it's a device that'll go onto Goku's body to help kind of nullify this virus. But Goku will be out of commission for a while. Trunks understands, and he knows what to do, so Trunks would then leave, going backwards in time. Now we're going to cut forward to the present day of the current What If timeline that we are in. Trunks has arrived, and then Trunks will then find Goku nearby. Now remember, they still have 3 years before the androids will show up, just like before. so Trunks showing up is around the same time as he would have been killing Frieza in the original timeline. This is when Trunks would then meet Goku, and he would be in awe seeing how strong Goku was, as he's never met him before, but he's heard incredible stories about him. Trunks would then turn into a Super Saiyan, and he would then attack Goku just like before. Now Goku would block all the attacks with his finger in base form, as he would not need to turn Super Saiyan. But maybe to humor Trunks, Goku might turn into Super Saiyan just to do it. Then, Trunks would then be really happy, and he tells him all about the androids, and the fact that Dr. Gero planted a special virus on him, and it's on him already. He states that when the time comes, he activates it, and it nullifies all of his power, thus making Goku almost a normal person. That is how Dr. Gero was able to kill him. Dr. Gero put all of his time into that effect, as the androids were strong enough to take out everyone else, unfortunately. But Goku was the biggest threat, and he only had one of these. But Trunks would then show a special device that would go on Goku's chest, and it would almost start to heal him and nullify this virus. But once when it happens, he needs to use this and put this on, or else if he doesn't, he will die. Goku then understands, as he would then take the device, not knowing at all what it is. They would then give it to Bulma and the others, since she knows that technology a lot better. Trunks would then quickly leave. Piccolo was nearby, and he would then hear what was happening. As the Z-Fighters all would have arrived sensing the new power level that appeared, Goku would have basically had to spill the beans on everything, telling them exactly what happened. Keeping some details out about how Trunks is Vegeta's kid, and also Bulma's his mother. That thing will be kept secret for now. Bulma would then take the device to make sure it's kept safe, but when Goku has any symptoms, they'll bring it right to him. So, for over the next 3 years, Goku, Raditz, Gohan, and Piccolo would begin their training. Now, Goku would mainly begin training Gohan, Piccolo, and Raditz because Goku knows that he died in the other timeline. So in case that happens, he wants to make sure that they're as strong as possible for that. This is when Piccolo knows what he needs to do as well. Piccolo would then fly off a little bit earlier than the original, and he would then go fuse with Kami. Now this would make Piccolo complete again, as now he's very powerful. He is stronger than he was in the original timeline when he fought Android 17 by this point. Now Raditz already has unlocked Super Saiyan with the help of Goku. Gohan has already unlocked the power as well, and the beings of likes of Vegeta, he's struggling too, but soon we all know that he will unlock the power as well, having a lot of motivation to try and surpass Kakarot, which we know will never happen. So Goku knew that they were more than ready. Now, as 3 years would then pass, near the city, the androids would then make themselves known. It was Dr. Gero and Android 19. Now, Dr. Gero's whole plan, he waited for Goku to arrive so he can kill him and activate the device. Now remind you, this device will take a little bit to destroy all of Goku's energy because he has so much of it. Now once when Goku and them arrive, he would begin fighting Dr. Gero first actually, and Dr. Gero would then activate the device as he was barely even able to dodge, because Goku wasn't taking things seriously because there was no threat at all, and the Z-Fighters were so strong, there was nothing that Dr. Gero could really do. But Android 19 was a lot stronger than he was. So, Android 19 would then grab Goku, surprising him, since they can't sense their energy. He would then take a very, very minuscule portion of Goku's power. This would increase his power tenfold, making Android 19 way stronger for the Z-Fighters to actually fight. All the Z-Fighters would then team up and begin fighting Android 19, as Dr. Gero would then showcase some new technology that he made for himself. Goku would then try flying in to deliver a punch to Dr. Gero, but it would phase right through him. Dr. Gero basically turned himself to be phaseable, so he can go through any object and Goku can't hit him. Now Goku's power was being sapped away as the virus has already started. As a light started to appear on Goku's chest, it made a loud thud like a heartbeat, making Goku fall over, as Goku's power was being sapped away. Dr. Gero would then begin laughing, as now, all that power was being transferred to something. Goku would then fall over, as Yamcha would be able to get Goku away in time and put the device on Goku's bare chest, which was in a lot of pain, but it was starting to destroy the virus and replace his power and fix it. So, Goku was now needing all the time he can to try and recover, as he'll be bedridden for days on end. Dr. Gero would be able to escape just in time, and he'll be able to activate androids 17 and 18. Now these two androids are way more powerful than the original, but the Z-Fighters are much stronger, but there will be a very tough fight. Raditz, Piccolo, and now Vegeta, who's appeared now, all stronger alongside with Gohan, would all team up and battle the two androids. Now, Android 16, would he be there? I'm going to say for what it purposes, yes, and we're going to get into him shortly. Gohan would actually battle Android 16, and he was actually able to hold his own a little bit, but Android 16 would not kill him. And he would then tell Gohan that he doesn't want to kill nobody, just Goku. Gohan would then maybe try and convince him, telling him to get out of here and go enjoy nature. Which, over time, Android 16 would then kind of stay away from the Z Fighters. Android 17 and 18 would be confused as to why he's just getting away from them, but they don't care less as they're too busy fighting together. Now, these androids were stated to be stronger than the original ones, so they are very strong. Now, with all of them teaming up though, unfortunately, the androids are too powerful. Now, unfortunately, the Z Fighters will not be able to catch up to these two androids until Raditz has an idea. Raditz would then tell all of them as he was laying on the ground defeated, his top armor was destroyed, he would then tell them all to give them his energy. If they can combine all their powers, he might be able to at least kill maybe both of them at the same time. Now, Vegeta was the last one to give his power. It was almost a similar scenario and scene to when Broly in Dragon Ball Z movie, Broly was fighting Goku, and Goku was begging them for the power. Once when they give Raditz the power, he then powered up in a Super Saiyan form further than he's ever gone before. He would then fly in and punch a hole right through Android 17's chest, killing him instantly. This would then shock Android 18 as out of fear, she would then run away. Now, a couple of days would pass as it was dead quiet, no androids were seen by them. The Z Fighters would all recover and they would try to find the other two androids and kill them. Now, unbeknownst to them, in the lab, something was being created. Once when Bulma would actually arrive at Dr. Gero's lab, going through all of his items, she would then find a device that was holding something, and it was glowing of pure power. As she sees that its power readings are beyond anything she's ever seen before, it's mind-boggling. But its P signature was kept hidden, so nobody could sense it. He would try hacking into it to open it up, but unfortunately it would not, as then it would say hatch mode. And then unfortunately, water would then dissipate, as then a being was standing right in the middle of it, with tubes all over it. And this being was none other than Cell. He will have the same look as Perfect Cell, but you could say Cell Max with a mix of red in there as well, but he's perfected. So he doesn't have any of his previous forms, but he has the majority of the power of Goku within him. He's not as strong as the current version of Goku, but he's very close. So Cell is insanely powerful. He would then look to Bulma, and he was getting ready to kill her before Vegeta would then fly in, delivering a powerful kick to Cell's neck, which would actually catch Cell off guard. But it wouldn't. Even though Cell was off guard, it would then maybe creak his neck a little bit, but Cell would then laugh at Vegeta, stating that, well, even with the sneak attack, I'm still too strong. He would then toy around with Vegeta, slapping him around during the fight, as then Vegeta would then tell Bulma to get away. The other Z Fighters would then jump in, all tag teaming Cell. As all 5 to 6 of them were attacking, Cell was tanking their attacks with zero effort. He was actually already bored. He wanted to fight Goku, that was his biggest treat, but he heard that the plan was that for Goku's already dead. Fortunately, he's kind of let down. Maybe he could battle some other strong beings. And then far off, a purple cat would begin sneezing in his sleep, feeling a pretty strong power nearby. This is when Goku would then be sweating laying in his bed as he can sense Cell's power. Goku's still not recovered at all. Now this machine is slowly giving him his power back, so Goku still has a long way to go. This is when Cell would then find them quite amusing, as Cell would then spare them. And why? Because he wants to see what happens when they get angry. Cell wants to see Vegeta's power because he can sense it. Bulma being around, Vegeta's power level spiked. Bulma would then try to hit Cell to get him away. Vegeta would then stare in shock as Cell would then slap her right across the face, Beerus style, as she would then fall. Vegeta would then stare in shock, as then sparks would then appear off his body, as Vegeta's hair would get a little bit more spikier. Vegeta would then transform into a Super Saiyan 2. Out of pure rage, he would then fly in full speed, hitting Cell with everything he had. This is when Vegeta would then cup his hands together, pouring every ounce of energy he had into a full power final flash, blasting the beam far off into the solar system, making a massive explosion. This is when Vegeta would then pass out almost, falling to his knees, as he would then see in the large, massive crater that they made, Cell would then stand right in front of him, smirking. Cell would state that he almost felt it, as that was really impressive power, but unfortunately, it's nothing compared to him. But that one really got his blood flowing. He needs to kind of stretch and try out this new body. He would then flick Vegeta away Beerus style, as he would then look around and see if anyone else wants to try playing the game. As he then looks around, he sees that the Z Fighters were all defeated. He would then get interested. Since there's nothing else to challenge him, he would then give them all 12 days to grow stronger in whatever way possible. Since Vegeta's new power-up interested him a little bit, as he would then still, remember he's holding back massively by the way, he would then allow them to basically go train for a little while. He's just going to go mess around because there's nothing else for him to do. So he would still do the Cell games. His Saiyan blood just can't deny how strong Vegeta got in just a few seconds. So imagine if they had 12 days, it might be a little bit of fun. Now the Z Fighters would all be recovering as Goku was still out cold. He's going to be out cold for longer because of this major strain on his body, and this machine is slowly repairing him. But Goku was still out of commission by the time that the Cell games start. So when this happens, all the Z Fighters would then prepare. They've all went into the hyperbolic time chamber. Some of them have even gone in twice. Sometimes even tried getting in 3 times, since Piccolo could, because he doesn't need food or anything. He can just drink water. So Gohan has actually seen the biggest growth out of everybody, since Piccolo and Raditz would also go in there together. Remember, Piccolo doesn't need food to survive, so he can go in there. And Piccolo doesn't really need a bed to sleep on, he can just float and meditate. They would then notice how Gohan has the most untapped potential. They would then utilize this to their fullest extent. They would then train Gohan for 2 years inside the hyperbolic time chamber. And of course Raditz would get his training in as well. Now Vegeta and then Trunks, who has arrived already, would begin their training as well. With Vegeta's help, over time, they would then help Trunks unlock Super Saiyan 2. Now Vegeta has learned to control Super Saiyan 2 on his own right, and now he's trying to learn to master it and find something more powerful, but that's the limit of his power currently. Now Piccolo has trained this really hard for himself, and he wonders if he can use the Dragon Balls, but he's afraid to because he knows that Cell knows about it, and he doesn't want Cell to appear and cause issues. Now this is when Piccolo would have an idea. They bring the Dragon Balls inside the Room of Spirit and Time. It makes sense, but unfortunately if they try using it, well, then unfortunately the Dragon Balls would scatter across the Room of Spirit and Time, and then you're lost. But they do have one idea. They would then do it anyway, because they have a plan. They would have the Dragon Radar. And with this, the Dragon Radar can follow the Dragon Ball signature. Now they would summon Shenron inside the Room of Spirit and Time. They only have one wish. Piccolo would then wish to have his potential unlocked. Now the Dragon Balls would then scatter. Gohan would use his speed to be able to catch one of the Dragon Balls, which is turned into stone. Now they would then follow the readings, as now they will leave one Dragon Ball in the Room of Spirit and Time. They would then use this to kind of have like a waypoint back. So with their super speed, they were able to travel around the whole dimension and were able to find the Dragon Balls quickly. Then they would just head back to the center where the Dragon Ball was. So they would then bring the Dragon Balls back out after they're done with training. Gohan has seen the massive growth. Gohan is already in Super Saiyan 2 by this point, and he's even starting to touch new levels of power that we don't know about yet. Piccolo, with this new form, was able to unlock a potential unleashed form in a way, and he's even grabbing on something else maybe, but he thinks this is the limit. Raditz also has Super Saiyan 2 as well, learning the power on top of this. Now all the Z Fighters would then step on out, as they were all ready to fight Cell. Now these versions of the characters are way stronger than the Cell arc. These versions of the characters are in the Buu arc plus level of power already, especially having 2 years of training. Now, once when they arrive, this is when Vegeta would want to step up first. Now, Goku was still getting very injured. He wasn't able to really get up yet. Goku would still be out of commission for right now. Until Goku would then sense Vegeta's power level dropping, as even though Vegeta was in Super Saiyan 2, trying everything that he could not touch Cell. Cell was just too strong, unfortunately. Even though Vegeta's trained a lot, he's gotten respectfully way stronger. He would then be knocked out of the ring. This is when Piccolo would actually step up and state that he has this. Piccolo would then turn into his potential unleashed form, and Piccolo is already the most powerful being there, other than Cell. This would then make Cell interested, as Piccolo would then fly in attacking Cell. Two of them would begin trading blows back and forth, as Cell would then comment on how much stronger Piccolo is than everyone else. Now Piccolo's power level is far exceeding that of the Buu arc already, and into the Dragon Ball Super levels of power easily by this point. So yes, Piccolo is insanely strong. Way stronger than the other Z Fighters. That wish really worked out well. Now, Piccolo would begin to get overpowered by Cell because even though his potential in Leaf's form is very strong, Cell was still holding back. Though Cell was starting to get a little bit excited, as Piccolo was actually able to land a very tiny scratch on Cell. This would then make Cell begin powering up and overpower Piccolo, ripping his arm off. Piccolo would then regenerate, as this is when Piccolo would then fire his special beam cannon. Cell would then easily block the attack, and he would then redirect it by firing a massive Kamehameha from one hand. This is when Piccolo was then hit with it, barely surviving as he would then fall through a massive crater. This is when Piccolo's power would then go the extra mile. Piccolo would then transform into Orange Piccolo, increasing his power massively. Piccolo would then clash with Cell, as Cell was shocked by this revelation of power. Cell would then only use more of his energy, using the purple, black, and greenish aura surrounding Cell, as he would then attack Piccolo. Now Piccolo was holding his own for a little bit, but Cell was still holding back some power. But Cell was starting to get there, as Piccolo pushed him the furthest than anyone else has. They would just beg that Piccolo can maybe hold off long enough, as Goku can sense that Piccolo is starting to lose. Though Gohan and the others would then try rushing in to try and help, they were all in vain, as they were just irritating Cell. They have an idea, as then Krillin would then fly in front of Cell and use the solar flare technique. Cell wasn't expecting it, it would blind him, as all the Z fighters would then give Orange Piccolo their power. Now by this point, Goku would then force himself to get up, struggling as he panted. Chi-Chi would then try to stop him, telling him what is he doing? He can't fight. Goku doesn't have a choice. He can't have his friends there die. Goku would not be able to put his top G on because of the device that's right on him, but he would then forcefully get up, and unfortunately Goku can't fly just yet, or he won't get there in time. He would then call Nimbus, as Nimbus would save the day, flying right towards Goku. Goku would then fall on top of Nimbus, as it would then take Goku towards the fighting area. They would then sense a really strong power level arriving, and it was Goku. Goku was weakly standing up, as he would be right next to his friends, as Piccolo was fighting Cell still, as it was a pretty bloody fight. Cell had some scratches on him, but Cell was really impressed by Piccolo, but unfortunately Cell still holding back. He would then grab Piccolo's fist and then kick his leg from out under him, throwing Piccolo to the ground, and he would then state that he was only using maybe 40% of his actual power, but it was really impressive. He would then kick Piccolo to the side, as Goku would then slowly walk onto the destroyed arena. Cell's smile would only get bigger. He's alive? This would only make him even happier. As now the virus was already destroyed in Goku's body, the machine is trying to repair the key in his power. So that's the reason why it's still on, as it's almost like a harness vest on his body. Goku would then tell Cell that he can't let him destroy these planet, and that he will stop him. Goku would then get into a battle stance, as Cell would then smirk and say that you're a broken shell of who you really are, but fine, I'll humor you. He would then deliver a powerful punch to Goku, knocking Goku through the pillars. Goku would then get up, barely, as Goku would then look and see blood. For the first time in Goku's life, his eyes, he's finally getting hurt. This then instills a fire within Goku that he's never seen before. Goku knows that his body is not fully recovered yet, but he doesn't have a choice. As Goku would then begin powering up, he would then fly in and try to fight Cell, but Cell was clearly outmatching him. It was almost similar when Goku was fighting DBZ Broly. He was being clearly outmatched. Goku would then try to punch through Cell's barrier that he made, but it would then blast Goku to the ground, as Goku would then keep getting up. As the time was going on, Goku was only getting stronger and stronger. The machine was utilizing more of his power, letting him grow back to his full self. Now by this point, the Z Fighters have already used pretty much all the senzu beans that they know of, as this is when Cell would then deliver a powerful punch to Goku's chin, knocking Goku around, as Goku was badly wounded now, and the machine was beginning to fail on him. So now Goku can't even get fully recovered. Goku would then grab the machine and then rip it off of his body. The virus was destroyed, it's just that Goku's not at full strength. Goku's not even a fraction of it. Goku would then smirk at Cell, stating to give him all he has, as this is what Goku actually needs deep down. For the first time, he can actually go all out on somebody. Even though he's nerfed, he can actually fight somebody full strength. This is when Goku would then power up to a Super Saiyan 2. Just from seeing it and feeling it before he can transform into it, he would then give a powerful punch right to Cell, and Cell would actually spit blood. The two begin trading blows back and forth as Cell would then utilize 100% of his full strength. Their blows would begin shaking the entire universe as the purple cat far off would then start sniffing in his sleep again. His ears would twitch as he would then sense a large power level. But unfortunately, when Goku would then put all of his energy into a full power Kamehameha wave, he would then collapse, spitting blood as he used up all of his power. Goku was just far too weakened. Cell had half of his body blown off as he would then recover, and he thought that he was going to die, but he remembers that he can recover any injury. Cell would then state that this was truly fun, but it's game over. Now, this is when you're going to have Piccolo, who would then fly in and try and attack Cell, but Cell would then swipe him to the side. Now, this is when Vegeta, out of anger, alongside with Trunks and someone else, would try to distract Cell, until Krillin would then feel something in his pocket. He would then look and see that he had the spare Sensu Bean. It was in his belt waist. He would then run over to Goku, telling him to take it quickly. Goku barely had any energy as Krillin helped Goku chew it and swallow it. Goku would then, his eyes would then widen, as he then had a big smile as Goku was now back to full power. Cell would then look as Goku's white aura would then flash around him, similar to almost Ultra Instinct, but not the real form. Goku would then look at Cell and say, "You can't beat me now." Cell would then fly in and deliver a powerful gut punch to Goku, but Goku would just stand there and stare at him, cool reverse Super Saiyan Goku style, and state, "You're hurting people. What have they done to you?" This is when Goku would then power up, as it's been so long. He would then deliver a powerful punch and knee to Cell's stomach. Goku would then put his hands together, and he would not hold back. Goku would then fire a full power Kamehameha wave, completely incinerating Cell, killing the bio android. All of his friends would then hug Goku, except Vegeta and some of the others, as they were happy that he was alive and back to full strength again. And Goku would then thank Krillin, as Krillin technically saved the day. If it wasn't for Krillin, all the Z fighters would be dead. Put a W in the chat for Krillin. Now this is when Goku would then return home to his family. Now as we know, Goku never died in this what if, so he would never go to the other world anyway to meet King Kai or to meet anybody else from the other world to learn the fusion dance or Super Saiyan 3. Now over the next 7 years, Goku would continue training. And this is when Goten would still be born. Gohan, I feel like having more people around him, Gohan would probably continue training, not to get rusty, but he would still continue his training and keeping in good shape, not being a full bookworm. Goten was actually utilizing most of this, because Goten already had crazy potential, training alongside his father for the next year or two. It was almost similar to how Pan was being trained alongside with Piccolo too. This is when Goten would already have Super Saiyan, and he would begin to tap into the realm of Super Saiyan 2, but not just yet, but he's getting there. Vegeta would already have their son Trunks, and Trunks would turn into a Super Saiyan instantly as well, because they're prodigies. Now, this is when the World Tournament would still happen. Goku would then meet up with everybody, happy to see everybody. Now, Vegeta is not as spiteful or crazy as he was before, because he knows that he can't surpass Kakarot. He's accepted it. He's accepted the fact that Kakarot is number one. He understands this. But this doesn't mean that he wants to try to surpass him one day. That's a goal that he's going to hold on to. Now, this is when they would all meet the Supreme Kai, and the Supreme Kai would then tell them about Majin Buu. Now, the Supreme Kai knows about Goku because why? He sensed his power earlier, so he knows how strong Goku is. He would then ask Goku personally if he can come along to the Z Fighters to basically go fight Majin Buu for him real quick, and go find him mainly. Goku would then agree, as it was almost like a quiet mission. Goku, Supreme Kai, and Kibito Kai would then fly off. Now, Vegeta would also come along because he wants to see what's going on. Piccolo would stay around side with Gohan and Raditz just to make sure that nothing bad happens, and if anything does, Goku can just fly back and get them. Now, once Goku and Vegeta would then arrive, they would then see Babidi's ship. Now, they would then go inside. Goku would see Yakon, and I feel like Vegeta would then take the limelight here, as Vegeta would then power up into a Super Saiyan 1, then burst into Super Saiyan 2, killing Yakon. Weeply would have been killed with the one shot before. Now, this is when Dabura would then appear, as Vegeta can easily dispatch of Dabura. Now, this version of Vegeta already having the Super Saiyan 2 transformation, on top of the fact that in the Cell arc, he was already in Buu Saga levels of power. Vegeta by this point is near the level of, let's say, Super Buu, which is way stronger than he was before. He's near the realm of Super Buu and Mystic Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, and Gotenks. So Vegeta is absurdly powerful. Now, Vegeta would then fight Dabura, and he would easily dispatched the board. It's not even a realm of a challenge to Vegeta. And then the Supreme Kai was shocked with how strong these Z fighters were. But Goku was fearing him the most. He could even rival Beerus in his mind. Babidi would then try to take over Vegeta's mind, but Vegeta would then decline it, as he knows, no matter what he does, it's not going to be able to defeat Kakarot. He knows this. And Goku's not evil anyway, so he can't corrupt his mind. They would then find Babidi, and they would then kill him. Now, just to mind you, the Supreme Kai would do this all before the tournament even started, so Gohan's energy was never taken. So Majin Buu would not have enough power to be revived. So the Supreme Kai would then take Majin Buu's egg to keep him hidden and locked away, and he would then fly off. Goku was actually really let down, as he really wanted to fight Majin Buu. And, he is what it is. Maybe it wasn't much of a challenge. They would then fly back and enjoy the tournament. Now, Goku and Vegeta were tag team to fight each other, so I feel like over time, Vegeta and Goku would then have their match. Vegeta would then turn into a Super Saiyan 2 and then battle Goku. Goku was in base form, but Goku wanted to respect Vegeta. So Goku then turned into a Super Saiyan 2 as well, beyond neg suppressed, and he would then fight Vegeta. Now, Vegeta knew that he had no chance, but he's going to prove himself that he is at least second, at least. And he's going to prove that he's not a pushover, that he is the prince. Vegeta would then charge up a new attack that he's been training for. And it was called Gamma Ray Burst, which is basically the buffed up steroid version of Final Flash. So he would then hit Goku full force with it, and Goku would then stand there. His clothes were pretty tattered, and he would then tell Vegeta that he's grown a lot. And then this is when Vegeta would then step off the ring, losing the fight. So they all get the prize money, which they're very happy with it. Chi-Chi would then spend it within about 5 minutes because it's Goku, and that's Dragon Ball Z comedy. Now that there was peace, Beerus would then awaken, as he senses Goku's power immediately. He would then tell Whis about the premonition that he had of a rival who can match his power. Whis can feel his power too, very dormant. He would then look at his staff and state that this mortal, as Whis will begin sweating as he can feel it, that this mortal has more untapped potential than potentially even Zeno himself. Unfortunately, since Majin Buu was never fully revived and he was hatched, this means that there's no good Buu or there's no Oob. So Goku would never have another student, but we'll dive into that later. Mr. Satan would also not be as popular as he originally was because of Majin Buu's not there for him to keep on winning. But in the end, he's still absurdly popular anyway, so it's not really going to change anything. So Mr. Satan is still the champion of the world. Peace would be restored for years, until far off a purple cat would then awaken. This was Lord Beerus. Now mind you here, Beerus has awoken as he's felt this power multiple times during his slumber, a power that he's never felt before. Beast knows all about it, but he's kept quiet. Beerus would then awaken fully and eat his normal meal. He would then be speaking to Whis about he had a premonition of a god, a being who can rival him. Whis would then begin sweating a little bit as Beerus would wonder what's his problem. Whis would then tell him that there's a mortal that power could even surpass his own. This would then shock Beerus as that's impossible, he's an angel. No mortal can surpass an angel, let alone a god of destruction. That's impossible. Whis states, but anything is possible, my lord. Unfortunately, this mortal has the potential to surpass me and anyone else that I've even known. His power is even close to matching yours. The more he fights, the stronger he gets. This would shock Beerus completely, as he needs to see the Saiyan. There's no way that a Saiyan is that powerful. There's just impossibility. But Whis was being dead serious, and he would tell Beerus that maybe we should avoid this one. It's better to leave him alone. Fighting him will only make him stronger, and it could bring unbalance to all the 12 universes. Beerus wouldn't care, as Beerus would then demand that they go to planet Earth right now. They would then leave, and they were celebrating Bulma's 38th birthday party, just like the original. Now they're at Bulma's house, or you can say it's the cruise ship, either one. They were enjoying her party, having a good time. Goku would then sense a weird pressure, and he can sense the power. It's weird, as Goku's never sensed energy like this before. Mind you, Goku's never really fought anybody with God Ki before. He does have this power within him, he's just never felt it before. Goku's only been able to push himself to Super Saiyan 2 because he's never needed to go any further. He's never had somebody to push him, ever in his entire life. Other than Cell, but that is because Goku was very weakened because of the Vice virus that was made against him in the original Part 2. Once when Beerus would arrive, he would instantly take note of Goku. Now Vegeta was terrified, because he remembers Beerus very vividly from when he would stomp on his father and he was then torturing him. He was afraid of Beerus. Beerus would then tell the Saiyan that who he was, and of course, Goku thinks that's really cool. He's never knew that there was a destroyer, and he can sense Beerus and Whis' power, and he couldn't really feel it at first, but after taking a few moments to try and learn how to do it, he was actually able to do it. That goes to show you his potential is within him. Beerus takes note on how fast he was able to learn how to be able to see God energy. It's incredible. Whis would be a little bit nervous, as this could become a problem, but the Saiyan doesn't seem to have any evil intent in his heart, which is a big sigh of relief. But Beerus, on the other hand, is getting excited. Never met a mortal like this before, a being who can rival his power? He wants to definitely give this a try. But before they would do that, Beerus is really hungry, as the smell of the earth food entices him. Beerus just needs to give it a try first. He apologizes. Beerus would then go off and he'll begin eating the buffet that they have, and he was absolutely in heaven. Same with Whis. They're really enjoying themselves. Now Goku would eat first, as he wants to eat before fighting. He doesn't want to get hungry now. After that was good, they would then clear out of the way, away from Bulma's party, as they would then go to a wide open area in the plains of the planet. Now Vegeta, Piccolo, Raditz, Gohan, and the others followed, of course. They want to see what happens. Vegeta mainly. This is when Goku would then take a stance against Beerus. And Goku doesn't know Beerus' full power. Even Beerus is holding back massively, it's still way stronger than he even imagined. People seem to underestimate how strong Beerus actually is. I'm comparing Beerus' power level from the manga version, not the anime version, because the manga version of Beerus is leagues stronger than the anime version from what we've seen. We haven't even seen his full power yet. Goku would then charge forward and throw a few punches at Beerus, which Beerus would surprisingly catch, and he would then smirk. The power behind his attacks is incredible. Now, how strong is this version of Goku? This version of Goku is fighting him in base form. Now remember, Goku is still holding back massively. Remember, he's never really had anybody to push himself before ever. Goku by this point is leagues stronger than he was, in the manga version, stronger than he was when he fought Gas and Granola in True Ultra Instinct. That's just to kind of gauge you guys on how strong Goku's actually become. And he's in base form. He hasn't even transformed yet, and that's a whole different ballgame. Once when Goku would then fight back and forth with Beerus, Goku was holding his own. Beerus was shocked with how strong Goku actually was. The mortal even has transformations that he knows of. He hasn't even tapped into it. The mortal has got ki, he can sense it, but he's not using it. It's so strange that he's using normal ki, but he's that strong. This is when Beerus would then tap into more of his Hakai and destructive power. He would then throw it right at Goku. Goku would then grab it, and the power would overwhelm him at first. But then once when Goku finally gets a grasp of it, he would then harness that power. Beerus was shocked, as Goku would then look at his hand, and he would then have the purple destruction aura around him as well. Goku was able to tap into this power. As in my previous what ifs, Goku was born with God of Destruction energy before. He has that potential as well. So Beerus was utterly shocked. Goku then states that he wants to go into his full strength, but he doesn't want to destroy the planet. Whis then has the only option. It would then flap a little bit more higher up into space, and Whis would then use all of his power to make a massive shield all around them to encase them in case the whole universe gets destroyed. Now Whis was sweating as he was even scared of what Goku's power is. Goku would begin powering up as Beerus was holding himself back in utter shock. His power level continues to rise as Goku would then burst into Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan 2. Goku would then burst into Super Saiyan 3. As then even going forward, Goku would then turn into a Super Saiyan 4. Now how did Goku learn this power? Remember, I have a what if before to where I have what if Goku was born as Super Saiyan 4. There's even what ifs where Goku turned Super Saiyan 4 early. And yeah, that goes to show you. He could always turn into these forms. He just never had somebody to actually do it. And he was afraid he was going to destroy everything. Goku would then look at his power, and he would then state that he's only tapped into it privately on his own. Here's that's what he means. Goku did something similar to Whis. He would basically entrap himself in his own energy and power up and see how strong he was initially, so no one could actually sense it, but he knew how strong he was. He had to try and grasp his power because he doesn't want to destroy everything. He would then tell Beerus that that God Ki thing is really interesting. It actually took him a second to actually figure it out, but he thinks he gets it. This is when Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan God, almost like it was natural to him. Because there's a what if I've done of what if Goku was naturally born with God Ki and was Yamoshi's descendant, and he was born in Super Saiyan God. But Goku already has this power within him already. But Goku would then go further. He would then tell Beerus he wants to see how high he can actually go. How far can he push his God energy? Goku would then begin pushing Super Saiyan God, almost evolving the form, having more sparkles, and his eyes would have darker pupils around it. Goku would then push further, as he would then calm the energy, turning into a Super Saiyan Rosé. Now mind you, this is because Goku's naturally built with God Ki, so instead of blue, like how it originally was, because that's a mortal obtaining God Ki, Goku is not a full-on mortal. He does have God Ki. But you can go back and forth of whether it's blue or Rosé, that's up to you guys, but in my opinion, Goku has turned Rosé in the what ifs, so I'm going to keep it a little bit more realistic-ish, so Goku does turn into Rosé instead of blue. This was shocking Beerus, as his power level is not stopping. It is continuing to rise, and Whis was literally sweating as it's rising to levels he's never imagined. Goku by this point is already far stronger than most of the gods of destruction. Now he's already about to surpass Beerus immensely. This is when Goku would then begin pushing, as he wants Beerus to go into his full power. Beerus would then do so, tapping into all of his destruction abilities, even Ultra Ego and so forward. Beerus would then bulk up a little bit in size, going to his absolute maximum. Now the shield was barely holding, and they would then continue fighting. Goku would then use Ultra Ego, having a similar form to Vegeta's power, but Goku states that it doesn't really like it that much. And how is this possible? Goku has max potential. He's fighting somebody that can grant him all the power that he has within him. He has all this power, he's just never had somebody to actually push him to unlock it. But Goku will begin battling Beerus, trading blows back and forth as shield was already cracking. Unfortunately, Beerus is clearly outmatched. Goku's power level is skyrocketed too high and he can't keep up. With Goku's training for the past almost 10 years, on top of the fact that he's now training and fighting Beerus, going really into his inner potential, unfortunately Beerus has zero chance of beating Goku. Once when Goku would then power up fully, he would overpower Beerus and even defeat him, knocking the Supreme God out cold. Whis was shocked, as his shield would have already broken. Whis was utterly shocked at Goku's power, and Goku would be really impressed by Beerus' strength, but he still felt bored. But he's not going to take it any more further. Beerus would then wake up, and he was shocked that he was defeated so easily. Beerus would then shake the Saiyan's hand and congratulate him. Whis would try offering him a job as a god of destruction. Of course, Goku would quickly decline. He's not a destroyer. So, would Goku battle Whis? I don't think so, because Goku doesn't know that Whis is Beerus' teacher. He would be interested in fighting him, but they're going to keep it for right now because they don't want to destroy the whole universe. And Whis would make an excuse, and he would actually say, oh, fortunately I can't make another shield like that, I used a lot of my power. Which Goku would understand, and he had a lot of fun. He's never actually pushed himself that far in years. So this is when they would then all go back down, and they would then enjoy a massive feat, all having a fantastic time. This time around, Majin Buu never ruined it with the pudding, and even if he did, Goku would have stopped Beerus. So Beerus would then tell the Saiyan that he's very impressed by his power, and if he ever wants to try and learn to control it more, maybe his teacher can help him. Or would he actually say that? I don't think Beerus would even offer Goku to show up to his planet. Whis would not be interested in training a monster like that. Think about it. Goku is so strong that he can surpass Whis and even the Grand Priest no later on. This goes to show you how strong Goku is actually becoming. Though he's not on the levels of Grand Priest yet, the Grand Priest can slap Goku around in reality. But Goku can definitely keep up with an angel level currently at his maximum strength. Now Goku does have Ultra Instinct within him, but he's never seen it before, he's never really felt it or had to use it, so we'll get into that one later. Now the people that would actually go train is actually Vegeta and Raditz. Those two would actually leave to go train on Beerus' world. So Raditz would take over Goku's spot alongside Vegeta. Those two have the bigger, rivals together, as Vegeta sees that he can't surpass Kakarot. There's just no way. Kakarot's not a normal Saiyan, but Raditz is a low-class scum. So Raditz is kind of taken over Goku's place from the original show. Goku's just like a Saitama of the show, he's just a monster. But they understand that, and they're happy that he's on their side. So Raditz and Vegeta would begin their training for over 2+ years, training to learn God Energy. Now Goku would show up, and how is this possible? Well, that's because Goku, again, can use the Kai Kai ability. Now hold on, Nature Dragon, how is this possible? Goku saw the Supreme Kai using it, and in my what ifs, I have had Goku use the Kai Kai ability initially, and he had God Energy. Goku was able to learn it. But once when Goku sees something for the first time, he can learn how to do it. And even if Goku didn't, Goku's so strong that he could probably use his speed to get to Beerus' world. If he can't do that, then he would ask Whis to be brought over there, and Raditz and them, and Whis would understand and bring him. Goku just wouldn't really want to train. He might train with maybe Vegeta and Raditz for a little while, but he would kind of do his own thing. Now, Whis was trying to avoid Goku at all costs, as he doesn't want to fight him, not at all. Though Whis does have an excitement, but he's afraid of Goku. He doesn't want to fight him because he's afraid of how strong the Saiyan could become. Though he is an angel and he's beyond all the gods of destruction put together, it doesn't matter. That being is so dangerous. He might need to speak to his father about it. Now, alongside with Raditz and Vegeta, they would then continue their training. Now they would learn God Ki, learning Super Saiyan God. Now they would learn to turn into a Super Saiyan Blue, unlocking their own God power. Now we know that Gohan would not have went because true, he's training more and more than he originally would. And Piccolo's already really strong. He's already mastered his orange form ability and pushing it even more. Gohan around this time, remember, Videl will still be pregnant with Pan, so Gohan would not leave. He wants to take care of his child. That's why Gohan's not leaving. He's going to stay on Earth with Piccolo to protect it if anything happens, though. But Gohan's not getting rusty or anything. Now, once when Frieza would then fully revive, Frieza would train a little bit differently this time. Now, Frieza knows that 3 months of training is not going to surpass that monster that he faced. He knows this. So Frieza will kind of go on his own journey to continue training for probably over an extra part of the year. So instead of training there for 2 years, it'll be 3 to 4 years they would begin training alongside Raditz and Vegeta. So they would have more time to continue mastering Super Saiyan Blue as the time went on. Now Frieza on his Savage, he would then find a Saiyan named Broly. Now, remember, why is this possible? Because Frieza never really worked on the Empire. He only trained for 3 to 4 months, and then he instantly headed to Earth. He didn't really care about expanding his empire or rebuilding it. Now, Chi-Lai and Lemma would actually find Broly quicker than the original by years. Finding Broly in Paragus, Frieza would then take Broly under his wing. Now, Frieza can see that this Saiyan has so much untapped battle power, it's absurd. Now, Frieza knows to be very careful. He needs to become stronger than he's ever become stronger before, if that makes sense. He would then find the Room of Spirit and Time. Frieza found this in the original manga version with Gas and Granola. He found his own kind of dimensional room of spirit and time. He trained him there for 10 years. So, this is when Frieza would then take over 10 years, which is 10 days, to continue training. Now, Frieza would then be able to unlock his Black Frieza form, being as strong as he was in the original manga, which is still absurdly strong, and we haven't seen the limit of it. I don't think he's stronger than Gods of Destruction, but I definitely think he's there. But Frieza's way stronger. Frieza would then take Broly, and unfortunately Paragus, but we'll get into that later. Frieza would then take Paragus and Broly, and this is when Frieza began training Broly for another 5 years. But Frieza's been training for 15 years, by the way. They take Broly in for 5 years, and which is 5 days on the outside. And this is when Paragus began aging a lot, because remember, he's a lot older. But now Broly's battle power was immense. So Frieza was way far ahead of him by now, so Broly couldn't catch up to him. Broly has grown massively in strength. Now Broly was able to learn the Ikari state and learn how to control it. Frieza knows that he needs to turn to a Super Saiyan, but he doesn't know how, so he would then figure out a way. He would then fight Broly and make him give into rage, making him get way strong, but it would also blind Broly. Frieza would then, quote-unquote, shoot Paragus, stating that, Broly, look what you did. You accidentally killed him. This would then make Broly transform into a Super Saiyan, and then even a full power Super Saiyan. His power would already rival that of the Beerus' level, far beyond this by now. And he would actually give Frieza a really tough fight. Frieza was shocked at his rate of growth. Now, after this, Broly would then lose, they would then continue training, and by this point, they would then all step out. Now that Frieza and Broly are more prepared than anything, they're now ready to go fight the Saiyans. Now, they would then head to planet Earth. Now, mind you, Frieza by this point has had a few years to build up his army, so he would have hundreds of thousands of members. Now, Sheetlight and Lemma would then hang out with Broly a lot, and Broly, true, he's been taught by Frieza in a bad way. Broly's still very primitive, that's not going to change. While he has had 5 years, Frieza's kind of taught him bad things and everything else, but Sheetlight and Lemma would be able to pull Broly back because they're his first friends, and he really likes them. But Broly will still follow Frieza, as he kind of looks at Frieza like another father figure in a way. Frieza's a master manipulator, he would definitely do something like that. So this is when they would all head to planet Earth. Now, the Resurrection F saga would then begin. It's a few years late, but it has started. Now, Raditz and Vegeta would still continue their training. Goku would then sense a massive power nearby Earth. He would then grab onto his friends. Beerus and Whis would follow because they want to see this, and they would then travel to Earth. Now, Frieza and Broly have arrived with hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Now, Piccolo and Gohan were easily going through everybody, and this is when Gohan would then begin fighting Broly. Now, Broly was far too strong for Gohan, easily overpowering the Saiyan. Piccolo in his orange form easily was overpowered by base form Broly. Fortunately, they did not have a say in the matter. Fortunately, this is when Goku and the others would then arrive. Now, this is when Raditz and Vegeta would then step up, both of them turning into Super Saiyan Blues, and they would then battle Broly. Now, mind you here, Broly is absurdly strong. Unfortunately, they would have no chance with Broly, easily being defeated. Now, this is when Goku would then help them, which Vegeta would never accept help, but other choice do they have? Goku, during this year, by the way, was not just on Beerus' world. He learned how to use the Kai ability. Goku's been traveling. He traveled to the realm of the Kais again. He even traveled to the other world, meeting King Yama, Paikon, and tons of other people. Goku's been learning a lot. Now, this is when Goku would then show Raditz and Vegeta how to do something. This is when Goku would then give his power to Raditz and Vegeta, making them absurdly strong. Now, this nearly destroyed them at the power that he gave them, but this would then give them a chance. As Goku doesn't indirectly want to fight Broly head on, but he wants them to try and fight in case he's not there, because you never know, anything could happen to him. Now, this is when Raditz and Vegeta, now way stronger, it would impress even Beerus at how strong they are. Now, Broly by this point is around Beerus' level, so Raditz and Vegeta are near there, but not fully. They have a little bit ways to go. If they would have fought Broly together, they could hold their own a little bit. Now, mind you, because Raditz and Vegeta are way stronger than the original, they are fighting a way stronger version of Goku, and he gave them a little bit of his power to help boost them up, so they gotten a lot stronger. This is when Goku would then show them what they have learned, though Vegeta absolutely despises this. He doesn't have a choice, because if he doesn't, his darling Bulma and them will die, so he would then do the fusion dance. Goku learned this in the other world from Metamorians, because Goku would explore around the universe using the Kai ability. Why wouldn't he? He would then travel to Supreme Kai, then Supreme Kai would then tell him about the other world. He would then go there and meet a bunch of people. So why wouldn't Goku not learn this ability? It wouldn't make a lot of sense why he wouldn't. So this is when Vegeta and Raditz would then do the fusion dance, becoming Vegeta, Raditz. Let me know in the comments down below, what would you call a fusion between Raditz and Vegeta into a Gogeta-like character, using the Metamorian fusion dance? Let me know down below if you made it this far. They would then transform into Super Saiyan Blue, and they would begin fighting Broly. Now, Broly would be in his full power Super Saiyan form, and he kind of lost himself to rage. Now, the fusion would actually be able to match Broly, being able to keep up with him and actually overpower him initially. As they were able to continue pushing their power, they would then tap into Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Now, they would overpower Broly initially. Broly was starting to catch up. Fortunately, the power that they held overtimed the fusion. It overtaxed it. So they would defuse, and Broly was still pretty battle damaged. It was a good fight, but the timer ruined them, and they were knocked down. Frieza would then begin laughing, as then before they were killed, this is when we're going to see Goku fly in, delivering to Broly what he did to Raccoon in the original. A powerful elbow to his stomach, which would then make him fall over and be defeated. Now, Goku did not kill Broly, as he sees that Broly's not evil, he's just very immature and misguided. He is pure-hearted. He would then glare at Frieza, telling him that you're just a beast. You manipulated this monster into what you wanted. Frieza would then be waiting for this moment. As Frieza would then transform into his Black Frieza form, Frieza made some enhancements to it as well, making himself very strong. Frieza definitely by this point is stronger than Beerus, and Beerus can see that, and he's kind of sweating a little bit as he hopes that Goku can beat him. But Beerus has been training himself as well, so Beerus is not a pushover anymore. Remember how Beerus would sleep for tens of thousands of years, you know, not really train? He's now actually training with Whis, trying to go stronger. But cutting back forward to Goku, he would then battle Frieza. And Goku would then go into Super Saiyan, continuing to battle him. This is when Goku would then push himself and be overkill. He would then jump into Super Saiyan God and battle Frieza head on. He would then overpower Frieza. As Frieza has no chance against this version of Goku, Goku would easily overpower Black Frieza, knocking him out of his form. Goku would then hold his hand out right in front of Frieza. He would then tell him that you did not deserve to be kept alive. Now Goku's given Frieza chances to change, but he never has. Now this is when Goku would then tell him Hakai, and Frieza would be completely wiped out from existence. No soul, no nothing. This is when Chi-Lai and Lemma would then help Broly up, as Goku can see the raw potential that Broly has. This is when Broly would then join them, with Chi-Lai and Lemma coming along with Raditz and Vegeta, all going back to Beerus' world, where Goku would actually train Broly personally, helping Broly to fully control the rage power that he had. Frieza is not the best teacher now, mind you, but Goku is. So Goku would help Broly learn to control it, even helping Broly unlock God Ki, which was already stronger than Raditz and Vegeta. Now Raditz and Vegeta are continuing to train. This is when we are going to cut forward. Would the Goku Black arc happen? Yes, it would. Now I know some people want some massive changes to the Goku Black arc, and you want, oh, this is a different version of Goku. Now we did do this for the future arc. Now, would this be the same version of Goku Black? It's not, because remember, Zamasu took over another version of Goku from a different timeline. It's a very confusing concept. So it would be the same version of Goku Black. Zamasu's still immortal from the Super Dragon Balls, but it's still different. So if Goku Black does appear and Trunks does show up, this is the future Trunks, he would then easily be able to handle Goku Black. Because the fact that Goku and Vegeta are there, they would easily handle Goku Black and Zamasu. There's too many powerful beings. And I could dive into it, but it would become a 30-minute plus long video, aka an hour long. But unfortunately, the Goku Black arc would still happen similar. It just would not be as long. Once when Goku Black first actually appeared, he would actually be killed. And if Zamasu even showed up with immortality, but that's because Goku Black manipulated him in the end, Goku would have still Hakai'd him and defeated him. Now, we obviously know that, of course, original Zamasu would have still showed up and, you know, became the pillar of the universe. Goku would still use the Zeno button, because we did gloss over the Universe 6 arc. That would happen similar. Goku would not be in it. Goku would kind of be like the Monaka, staying out of the way. Raditz and Vegeta and the others would then step in, and they would easily overpower everybody. It's very powerful, but not against these guys. And then Vegeta would still take a liking to Kaba, teaching him what it means to be a Saiyan warrior, and they would easily win. Beerus would still use the Dragon Balls to wish Champa his planet back, and this is also when Zeno would then appear. Now, with Zeno appearing, Zeno senses how strong Goku actually is. Zeno senses something within him. He senses omnipotence, energy like his. It really intrigues Zeno, and he wants to see Goku again soon. Now, that's just to explain how Goku gets the Zeno button because he becomes best friends with him. That would happen the same. Once when Grand Priest actually meets Goku, he would then be scared of Goku's power. No mortal should be that strong. It almost insulted him in a way. Zeno loves Goku, obviously, as Zeno is very childish. Now, Zeno knows that Goku does not have the omnipotence fully, but Zeno is too childish that we know of to really care. Now, this is when, going past the Goku Black arc, we would then, of course, dive into the Broly arc, the Tournament of Power. Now, the Tournament of Power, I believe, would still happen, and Universe 7 is going to win. Even if Goku was not allowed to go in by the Grand Priest, to be fair, Goku would just sit back and watch because everybody else can handle it. Raditz, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta are way strong enough by this point. And they have somebody else. They have a freaking monster called Broly, who would easily overpower Jiren and defeat him. People seem to forget just how strong Universe 7 has become. Now, by this point, Gohan would have continued pushing his power, going stronger and stronger. Gohan's potential is busted. Broly's strong enough as is. Vegeta and Raditz have Super Saiyan Blue evolution on their own. They are way too strong. So even the likes of Jiren, he would have been overrun. Broly would have absolutely destroyed Jiren in their fight. Even if he went to his limit breaking mode, it wouldn't matter. Fortunately, Jiren would lose. So all the universes would be destroyed. Now Gohan would still be the team leader, so since they won, Gohan would be granted the wish, and Gohan would then wish for all the universes back just like before. Now if Goku was in the Tournament of Power, which I don't see why he wouldn't be, all the other universes knew that they're screwed. They can sense how strong Goku was. Now they probably would have all voted, and then Zeno would have said that Goku can't enter. Even if Goku wasn't there, he would have just slapped around everybody. Even if Kale and Khalifa showed up, attack. Even if the entire other 12 universes all jumped on Goku at the same time, Jiren, Dive Destruction, like at the Aniraza, the strongest versions, Kefla, hit using his time skip, Goku would annihilate everybody in his way, knocking them out one by one like a pinball machine. It would not even be a competition. So Goku would just stay out of the way this time, and he was really proud about how strong his friends are becoming. He's truly amazed. Cutting forward, we are then going to dive into the Broly movie, which is not happening, since Frieza already kind of did this originally. So, Broly movie, we're glossing over that. But what about Dragon Ball Superhero? Now with Dragon Ball Superhero movie, Gohan and Piccolo could still be the main leaders. It's just that Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz will be on Beerus' world. Now, if Cell Max was brought back, from what we originally know, from Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, that could be the only potential problem. Now, Gohan here has gotten a lot of growth. Now, what I mean by this, Gohan knew that he needed to grow stronger. So, Gohan actually went to the Supreme Kai with Goku's help to have his latent potential unlocked, but Gohan would still get Mystic just like before. Now, this is when Gohan and Piccolo would then team up to battle the Gammas. The Gammas are absurdly strong, by the way, but Gohan and Piccolo are way stronger than they originally were. Especially with Gohan using Mystic, and he would then be able to learn the Beast form, having a lot of rage, he would easily defeat them. Orange Piccolo would defeat them as well. Now, Perfected Cell Max would be a problem. Since he's grown much stronger, being able to basically harness more power, this is when Gohan and Piccolo might have problems. Now Goku would sense this, and he would then go fight Perfected Cell Max. Or would he? This is when I think that Broly would showcase his power and fight Perfected Cell Max. As now Perfected Cell Max from the part before, he was around the levels of Super Saiyan Blue Goku when he fought Frieza. Now Perfected Cell Max here is far stronger than that, easily eclipsing God Destruction levels of power for sure. So Broly would have a perfect opponent to fight against. Now Broly has learned to control his legendary Super Saiyan power, being able to take harness of it and actually think clearly. Now the only problem is Broly will start to get overpowered because Perfected Cell Max here, he is way too intelligent for Broly. Now this is when Raditz and Vegeta would then do the fusion dance again as they learn to use it. With Blue Evolution, they would then battle Cell Max, but unfortunately, Perfected Cell Max, I think, would still win because he would still be too strong. Now, this is when Gohan would then be meeting up with Goku, and Goku would then step in, and he would easily defeat Cell Max by himself. Now, after Cell Max was defeated, what about the Granola and Gas Arc? Well, the Gas Arc would never happen because they used Granola to get stronger, blah, blah, get the Dragon Balls. That would never happen. What about Moro? Now, the thing with Moro is the fact that true, he could take energy. But once when he tries to take Goku's power, he would literally destroy himself and implode. Goku has Omni Ki power within him, and God of Destruction and Angel. We know that the Angel power nearly killed him, if you guys remember, so imagine having that plus way more. He has no chance. He would have died. So Moro would try to take Goku's energy, he ate it, and he would then probably get a temporary massive power up, but then he would then literally explode and disintegrate himself. It'll be the same thing with Granola. If he tries wishing to become the strongest, which he in reality, why would he need to? Frieza's dead. So if Frieza's dead, he could try getting revenge on the Saiyans because they were with Frieza. So if he still made the wish, he would have died. Because Goku's so strong and he's still immortal in a way. Even if he wasn't, Broly, for instance. Fortunately, Granola would have died. He would have aged way too quickly and died. Gas would have tried making the same wish. He would have died the same way. And unfortunately, there was no Black Frieza arc because Black Frieza was killed. But anyway, that is it for this series, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. I know I kind of glossed over and ran over some of the other arcs, but unfortunately, none of them would really change massively. The only thing that would really be a challenge would be Perfected Cell Max. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all later.